And we're also following breaking news out of North Carolina about singer R.Kelly.
The artist, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was rushed to the hospital last week after allegedly overdosing on sleep and anxiety medications given to him by prison staff. In court
I don't like being limited, but it's a game that you play. You see, a few years ago, I had a channel, and when I did articles, when I did and I produced videos on Robert Sylvester Kelly, evidently I made somebody mad. A lot of somebodies. I went too hard with the 5 C's. And I must have exposed too much and barked up the wrong tree. So I heeded the warning. And at that point, I don't think I've done an R. Kelly, maybe one R. Kelly video since then. And I had to dance around it. But I'll play for this. I'll play for you again, the opening part about R. Kelly being hospitalized last week from an alleged overdose in prison. And we'll go from there.
And we're also following breaking news out of North Carolina about singer R.Kelly.
The artist, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was rushed to the hospital last week after allegedly overdosing on sleep and anxiety medications given to him by...
So, what you heard, again, famous lyricist, songwriter, producer, arguably one of the most controversial yet brilliant minds in music of our lifetime, allegedly overdosed in prison. I'm not going to say how. I'm not going to even attempt to even tell the story. But I want to talk about R. Kelly. And I want to talk about the music industry. When I first heard about Robert, I affectionately call him Robert because, see, Robert and I had the same music teacher. For those of you all who don't know, I was in the music industry. Teacher Lena McLean. Listen.
Chicago Hyde Park neighborhood. He was an athletic young boy and played basketball in the school team. His music teacher then, a born of Atlanta, Georgia by the name Lena McLean, had noticed his amazing music talent and went ahead to advise Kelly to reduce his basketball and focus more on music. Whoever said it takes a whole village to raise a child surely knew what they were talking about. The mother's part was to inspire him whenever she went with him to watch her sing in Chicago bars and church, and it took the critical analysis by his music teacher Lena to notice his great talent and advise him to pursue a music career. She literally mentored the young boy. Exactly how essential could this advice have been to enable Kelly become the great music star he now is, only God knows. Did McLean love Kelly so much?
So it was Dr. Lena McLean.
Early life. R. Kelly attended Kenwood Academy High School in Chicago Hyde Park neighborhood. He was an athletic young boy and played basketball in the school team. His music teacher then, a born of Atlanta, Georgia by the name Lena McLean, had noticed his amazing music talent and went ahead to it.
Dr. Lena McLean. May she rest in peace. She died October 3rd, 2023. Wow, my mind just goes back to those moments. I met Dr. McLean through an old girlfriend of mine. I had just finished in the top 10 finals of Apollo Theater. Apollo left New York and came to Chicago for a while. And I wound up finishing in the top 10. Singer, songwriter, producer. I had two major music producers at the time. And that was May 11th of 1996. May 11th, 1996. Erie Crown Theater. And I met some of the heavyweights and the greats. Steve Harvey when he had hair. I've told the story before. When I worked at KFC on 55th and Stage, I worked across the street from a Doc's Fish House, and that's where Bernie Mac used to run that restaurant. So between the comedy clubs and acting and modeling and music, I was trying to get in that thing. So shout out to my old girlfriend. She had me meet Dr. McLean. One day after music class, she walked me through the aisle of her home. And she showed me all of R.Kelly's albums. She had the gold-plated stuff. And I believe it was the album dealing with the bump and grind, something like that. I think that's what it was. 12 play. I think it was the 12 play album. Show it to you. Let's see here. R.Kelly 12 play album. So when Robert came out with 12 play, she told me that she pulled Robert to the side one day, or she called him. I forget how the story goes. And she warned Robert. She says, "Robert, you're going too far. You got to reel it back in." Because Robert had got into the sex thing. Lyrics, sex, music, put it all together. Being that Lena McLean was a pastor, come on now, it was a no-no. I don't know why she shared that story with me. Never really thought about it till now. Maybe it was for me to let me know if I ever got big and into the music industry. You got to draw that line. Ever since Robert, and it came up about all those things, which I said I can't talk about because I went too hard and I got in trouble. I think about that beautiful experience meeting someone, a treasure, because Miss McLean wasn't just a music teacher. She was like a mother. She was a visionary. God gave her the ability to see talent and to mold and shape it beyond music. Young people listen to older people. Many times they speak without speaking. They've seen the pitfalls and the traps. And many of older people who know God, there's a level of wisdom that you just can't see when you're young. Now, I'm not making excuses for Robert. I'm not taking anybody's side. I'm not saying he did or didn't do whatever he's accused of. But I want you to understand that when you have a calling, this is just something I believe. When you have a calling, the Bible does say, the more given, the more required. I believe that when you're called, scriptures like that, they echo far and wide. Far and wide. That was a warning she gave Robert. Maybe he didn't understand. Maybe he already made up his mind he was going to do what he had to do. Maybe he had already signed a contract where he said he was going to be a certain type of artist. In the inner circles, when I was in the music, people were saying, well, you know what, Pearson, he allegedly gave up his mama. People, the man been in prison for a while. He got a lot to think about. I just talked to a friend of mine, I want to say 2 days ago. We talk every now and then because she's really into holistic herbs and stuff like that. And we talk about her dad and the ailments that he goes through. And we just talk. We just gel like that way. And if you talk about Robert Kelly, she'll bust you in your mouth. She crazy about it. I say that to say this. When God gives you that talent, when he gives you a gift, when you have honed that gift, that level of accountability is so deep that if you don't listen to your mentors, you will never get it. And I'm not excusing that he was young, but he was young when he got into this thing. I think about Michael Jackson. He was young. Music was their life. Think about it. I'm not saying that's all you know, but that's all you know to know. Your head might get big, the ego might get crazy. You hear what you want to say, you got millions of dollars, you do what you want to do. You got yes men and yes women around you. You got women around you wanting you for questionable reasons and maybe honorable reasons. It's a whole different world. I listen to Robert's music. I listen to I Believe I Can Fly. I listen to some of his quote unquote gospel music. He has a song out called He Saved Me. He got a few songs which are inspirational and have that gospel type of feel, arguably. So he had the capability of giving back what God gave him. You see, because these talents that we have, they're supposed to be in service to God. Robert, he blessed a lot of people. He wrote for Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone. He sang with Celine Dion. He sang with a lot of great artists. I remember when they just stopped him. I remember when everything just stopped and the allegations hit. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. They had the tapes out there. I'm like, man, I wonder what went down. Was it all true? The industry is a mystery. We got the Diddy thing going on now, so we've learned a lot, allegedly, about the ins and outs, the secrets. These are, excuse the phrase, boys to men. I just wanted to talk about it. Because according to what they're saying in the news, he might not be around too much longer. But I want to tell you, if you have a gift, whatever it is, whether it's music, whatever, and somebody talks to you, and if the Holy Spirit is talking to you, you need to heed for a lot of different reasons. I do believe that when you have a gift, you're targeted. Satan is after you. Satan knows what glory looks like. He knows what praise looks like. He knows, because he himself said he wanted to be like the Most High. So if he's got to take someone like a Robert, allegedly, and have them shift gears and use their talent for his purpose, he will throw the money and the women and the world at your feet. And you have to make a decision. But it's just bait. Because Satan has his own book as well. And I do believe you're going to have to sacrifice something at some time. And maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe allegedly Robert was playing a game within a game. And maybe the spiritual side of him, the godly part of him, maybe he ruffled a few feathers and said, no, I want to do some more gospel. I feel the call of the Lord on my life. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to sacrifice no more. We live in a generation of tabloid news. Remember the Sun, the Globe, the National Enquirer. Now it's TMZ, the visual part. We kind of want to know. God knows. You got a roadmap for your talent. It might not give you all the accolades that the world is offering you, but it's much safer. You see, because Jesus sacrificed. And the only sacrifice you have to give is working toward the glory of God for his people. Working toward the glory of God for his people. And I pray one day I can get back in that thing. I really do. I miss it. The world needs beautiful music. But you got to set the foundation right. We pray for Robert. And we thank God for people like Dr. Lena McLean. I don't know if I could have handled that prison life. You guys have a good day.